Hi everybody, this is Black Lion. So this is the era of digital marketing. It is the era of communication. It's the era of the online platform. Internet is booming and it is the 21st century. And what is everybody doing online? Everybody's getting their businesses online. Everybody's getting their social skills upgraded online. And everybody has reigned in online. What does that mean for the marketing industry in the UAE? So how about we start off with the population itself in the UAE versus the internet users and penetration. So here's the thing. It's about 98%, 98.4%, and I'm giving this calculation basing on 2018, not even 2019, not even 2020. The penetration was 98.4. Now that's deep, because if you look at it in that way, this is all the population vis-a-vis the usage of internet in the UAE. So what did that mean at that point in time, or what does it mean right now for the job industry and for the digital marketing profession in the UAE? Given the consumption of internet at 98.4%, now, from my own observation and being around the industry, I was able to observe starting around 2015, you could notice that there was a huge demand, there was a high demand of internet professionals in the UAE, because naturally UAE is one of the largest markets for internet marketers in the world. So this meant a high rate of hire. Like, there were so many people getting jobs in internet marketing. There were so many digital specialists who would come over and get, good jobs. And there was also small, medium, large industries also opening up their platforms, and they're saying, hey, we have to hire at least one staff who's a specialist in digital marketing. So every business was going along that direction, and that necessarily increased the demand for marketing specialists, especially in the area of digital marketing. So that was a boom in that area. Recruitment firms were also, looking around for, digital marketing specialists. So there was it was blowing in there. It was rising and rising and rising. 2015, 2016, it's still rising, And so now the demand increased so much in a way that, as you all know, anything that happens in any market, when there is a high demand, there's also a push down in price. So the same thing kind of, from my observation, kind of happened, because the demand for internet increased, and so almost everybody came into the market and decided to take a course, and almost everybody, like a huge number of people, decided, okay, right now this is the career that is benefiting, I'm going to enroll. So the number of digital marketers increased, and so the pay also somehow kind of reduced a little bit. But it doesn't mean it hasn't really gone down, because these companies that had to choose the right people, and it took a lot of time, and now other companies started to hire digital marketing specialists to help them hire for their companies. Like, I'll give an example. Many times at the time, about 4 years ago, when I was still in some company, almost every day there was a walk-in into the company of a business saying, hey, we want to hire you, gotta hire us, we know how to market, we know how to put your business ahead, so you give us the contract and then we promote your business for you. So there was a lot of that activity happening again. So other companies were hiring other companies to do the marketing for them, and then other companies decided to hire different stuff by themselves and put them in-house to do their marketing in terms of digital platforms for them. So pay scale at this point in time, or a year before, it was ranging for executives, for digital marketing executives, from around 3,000 dirham to around 6,000 dirham. So these were executives. So that was the pay scale that was booming around that time. And some other people it was a good one, and some other people it was a drop from the initial that was way much higher once when the platform boomed and opened up. So just to put a clear perspective on the salaries of what these companies, or many of the companies, were offering at that time, they're putting a digital marketing specialist at a salary scale of 85,000 dirham a year, and we're putting a a digital marketing manager at 213,000 dirham a year, and also the social media specialist, just normal social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all this type of stuff. They're putting them at around 74,000 dirham, okay, per year. And then that puts there is one special one that people don't always usually refer to, but that is the SEO specialist. The SEO specialist is that person who sits behind your website and sits behind all your platforms and starts to manipulate the keywords that are being used on your platform so that you're able to come up way so high up on search results. So that SEO specialist, just maybe because it wasn't so much understood or isn't so much understood, that person was getting around 68,000 dirham a year. So that's just an average pay for the digital marketing platform. Now, does it induce you so much to want to do it? Does it encourage you to learn and do it? Does it encourage you to step in and jump into the UAE's platform of digital marketing? Well, now that I don't know. All these things now come in with a mix of experience, a mix of personality. You have to be pleasant. Come on, you're in the workplace. You just can't be there like a robot and think that people are going to get comfortable and be able to associate with you, or much less customers in that regard. You must be pleasant. You must be able to provide some level of being analytical. So you look at the market, you look at the trends, you look at some of the things that are going on in the market and be able to advise businesses on how to proceed. And you look at yourself. You should be able to have very good presentation skills, and you should be very able to get into information from the internet, package it in a way that can be understood by the layman. And usually most people in positions of power, owners and so forth, they didn't do so much of social media back in their days. So you have to package it in a way that they're able to understand and be able to give you that opportunity, the job, or give your company that opportunity. Yeah, so what were the companies looking for at that time? They were looking for people who were good at, the specialities were lead generation, there was social media marketing specialist, there was Instagram marketing specialist, there was Facebook marketing, there was SEO specialist, which means search engine optimizing specialist. There were all those who were content writers that were required to make content for their websites. They're looking for people who are good in web development. They're looking for people who are good in, social media as a general, platform for marketing a business. They're looking for people who are good at the area of internet email marketing, and then by email I didn't mean only just sending one email through Outlook, and I mean email by looking through all the platforms of email service providers that were doing huge and bulk emails at that time professionally. So they're looking for people who are looking in that regard. And then also they're looking for people who had learned to manipulate the area of WhatsApp and using it to promote the businesses. So all these were skills that they were looking for at that time, and even then all the way until now, these are some of the skills that could be relevant. But of course, as time went on, you had to have all these skills embedded in one so that you can be more competitive. So before, they could get one social media specialist for Facebook alone, but now the company makes more and gets more return on investment if they hire somebody who's good at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all this, name it. So all this is now what is required for you to be able to position yourself and to stand well in front of the market and be hired and get these jobs or get the gigs that you're required to get in the area of digital marketing. So what were the certifications that they were looking for, or they are looking for still all the way until now? They're looking for people who have certifications in Google Ads. They're looking for people with certifications in maybe masters in many of the fields. The fields are not really streamlined. So you have a master's in marketing, master's in this, or you have a business administration in this. It was not really. But then it is clear that with any of your bachelor's degrees, as long as you have relevant industry experience, you stand a chance, or you could stand a chance in getting hired. So these are some of the things that are critical when they're looking for, or when recruiters are looking for to hire a digital marketing specialist. I don't mean to bust your bubble or anything in this regard, because now coming closer to 2020 and coming closer to 2020, things started to change a little bit. Now companies started to hire, to look from within, and started to give opportunity to those that had already been hired with them. Of course, the situation coming close to pandemic was getting hard, so even the job market was getting, tough, and even post-pandemic job market was also hit. So what happens is people were looking for ways to make do within their companies. So I saw a couple of jobs being given to admins of the companies to monitor internet, especially to monitor the social media platforms. So many of the admins started being given additional roles. I mean, you go into Snapchat, go into Instagram, and upload a couple of pictures. And also that meant those admins that were getting jobs also started to add, I would put a quote in it as digital marketing as well skills, so they would get themselves also jobs in that area. So of course that already add into the already potential strength for getting more in digital marketing. But then again, it makes you wonder. You always have to include yourself in these things of getting skills, so you always have to keep rising and getting more and more skills. So when others are taking over, for example, the simple social media sites like Instagram, like Facebook and so forth, were being taken over by other departments and other careers, for example admins and assistants. That meant digital marketers always have to keep innovating their game, changing their platforms, going higher and higher in top-notch kind of skills. You have to now learn how to do the website by yourself. You have to learn how to SEO, search engine optimize anything by yourself. You have to be able to do all these things by yourself, learn very complicated software, and also get coding as part of your skills. So the more the job is being given out to other departments, the more you rise higher and higher and do more complicated stuff, get deeper until you're getting into final coding and CSS. So now, that being said, most of this discussion is basing around the fact that in 2018 the population of internet and its penetration was at 98.4. So you could hear a little bit of buts, you could hear a little bit of before or was and this. Just know that basing on that time, 2018, 2017, around that time. But now things have changed. Post pandemic period of time, what has changed? Now you stay focused and stay tuned with me, and I'm going to discuss with you post-pandemic trends and changes in this platform, if you're ready to hear from this. Otherwise, thank you for listening. If you're interested in this kind of topic and you're interested in sharing more, you can comment on the description below and let me know what you think about it. Otherwise, thank you for being a good crowd and watching with me until now. Don't forget to subscribe, because channel is new and we're growing. We want you to be a part of the team that is growing so fast, and maybe not as much as I would love to. Okay, anyway, cheers. Thank you for being with me. Cheers and bye.